It's that time again to show you all the books I read. I love all these books with all my heart. Please read every single one. I love them. Let's get into the first book. The first book I read this month was, of course, Happy Place. I was feeling FOMO when everyone was reading it. I didn't want to buy it because it was hardback and it's really expensive when it's hardback, but I bought it anyway. I absolutely love this book. I gave it 5 stars. It was not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be like a cute little perfect like feel-good summer book, which it was, but it was also raw and really personal, and I felt it on every single level. So like the title says, Happy Place, it's all about finding what makes you happy, and it's all about change and dealing with the changes that you make or what other people make. This book goes from the past to the present. It's about Wynn and Harriet, and they were like college best friends, and they dated for a while, and then something happened and they grew apart. She's in the cutest little friend group, and they all meet at this summer house. She sees Wynn there, and she's like, well, we just like broke up, so it's kind of awkward seeing you. And he just pretends like nothing happened. So he's pretending they're still together because they don't want the friends to freak out because something's happening. I don't want to give it away, you just gotta read the book. But they're in like a small town in Maine, and so it gives like that small town vibe that I love. Most of these books I read are in small towns, so I was feeling the vibe. So it goes into real deep feelings and problems with families and friends and relationships. It was deep, but in a good way that made you relate and really think about your life. It really helped me, and I'm sure a lot of people realize to do what makes you happy and not what makes other people happy. And I love this book. Like I said, I gave it 5 stars. The next book I read, I have had on my TBR for a long time, and it happened one summer, and can I just say I am so freaking happy I read this book. I gave it 4 stars. This was the cutest freaking romance ever. It made me feel things. It is also set in a small town, which I love small towns. I may need to move to one, so if you have recommendations, let me know. It's literally the perfect summer read. Piper and her sister Hannah are like rich, spoiled girls, and they live in LA, I think. And Piper does something crazy, and her stepdad is like, okay, you're cut off, and I'm moving you to a small town for 3 months so you can get your stuff together. But turns out her dad and her mom met there, and they used to live there until her dad tragically passed away. She learns that he had a bar there, and now they're going to live at the bar and kind of fix it up and run it. And that's when she meets Brandon, the sexy little hunk of a man with the beanie on. They have chemistry right away. Everyone can sense it. Piper and Hannah go into the bar, and it's like kind of run down, and all the people in Westport kind of just pay rent for it, I guess. They kind of bring their own beer and just hang out there, and that's where she meets Brandon. He's like, these kids are not going to last here. You know, they're total opposites, but you know what they say, opposites attract. So things keep happening, and they just always choose each other, which I love. They always, help each other out. Piper and Hannah find family along the way. They make so many friends. I love this. Please read it. It's amazing. The next book I read was Twisted Love. I also had this on my TBR for a long time. I finally got to it, and I was happy I did because now I need to read the whole freaking series. This book was definitely twisted and dark. A little bit too much for what I like, but it was still a really good freaking book. I gave it like a 3.5, 4 stars just because towards the end I wasn't really like sure about it. So Ava and Alex are the main characters, and they both have really traumatic backgrounds, both including their families that are affecting their everyday lives. Both of them all go through lies, gaslighting, near-death experiences, revenge, all of that stuff. Ava has a brother whose name is Josh, and Josh and Alex are BFFs in college, and so they live together. And Ava's also in college. Josh has to go away to Central America for like a study abroad trip or something like that. He's like, hey Alex, can you watch Ava for me? Just make sure she's safe, big brother, protecting little sister. And he's like, I guess. And they both kind of hate each other. He's a grumpy little grump. I mean, he shows like no emotions. He's like stone cold face. It's basically about them getting over their traumas. The plot twist was insane. Shook me to my dang core. My mouth was on the floor. I was gasping. The plot twist and all of the drama that went with that upped my rating, but the actual romance brought it down to the half point because it was just a little too dark. Towards the end, Alex just gets a little too obsessive and possessive about her, and in like a creepy, not cute way. And he like stalks her. And it's really weird. I'm like, okay, dude, just give her some freaking space. After the plot twist that just happened, you need to give her some space, okay? I give it 3.5 stars, 4. I don't even know my rating. But I did really like this book. It was good. It was twisted. It was some type of love, at least. This last book I read, I literally just finished like minutes ago. And I enjoyed every single moment. And I finished it right before I had to film this video. And I cried after I finished it. Cue the clip. I just finished reading this. Oh my god. This book was Things We Never Got Over. I rate this 5 stars. If I could give it 100, I would. This is my new favorite book. I love this with all of my freaking heart. It has everything you could ever want in a book. Romance, suspense, drama, family, the small town again, which I love. It has the classic grumpy and sunshine trope. It goes between the perspectives of Naomi and Knox, who are the main characters. Naomi comes in with the worst freaking day of her life. She leaves her ex at the altar. She loses her job. She goes to see her twin, Tina, who is like an evil being, nothing like Naomi at all. Naomi's like the good girl, and Tina's like, hey girl, I need your help. So she goes to this small town, and then Tina freaking steals her car and her money, her clothes, trashes her motel room. She gets yelled out by the sexy grumpy man himself, Knox, and she realizes she has a niece. So apparently Tina had a daughter, Waylay, which I love that name. It's such a cute little name for a little kid. She's like 11 though. So Naomi just has the worst and weirdest freaking day ever. When she realizes that she has to take in Waylay, Knox offers to help, but he's very grumpy, so they constantly yell at each other. He kind of helps her through this tough time. He gives her a lot of stuff, which she isn't used to. She's used to giving stuff to other people, not stuff given to her. And so she's like, this is new, and I'm feeling an attraction happening. I love Knox. He's the sweetest freaking guy ever. Naomi, she has to get a couple of jobs to keep the income coming and be able to afford food and stuff like that. And she makes so many friends, and I love every single person. They all do so much for each other. There is constant drama with Tina. She just disappeared. They don't know where she went, so they're trying to find her. Knox has a couple of family issues he never wants to talk about, and you don't really learn about until the end of the book. I just especially love all of the character growth. Each character individually just grows so much positively. I love how she put everything together. I mean, we got 2 epilogues at the end, which I was so freaking thankful for. I didn't feel like I was reading. I just got lost in it. Felt like I was watching a movie before my eyes. I love this book. I love this book. What the heck is happening? Oh my god, that plane is so loud. He's flying so low. The whole house is shaking. Oh my god. The helicopters are finally gone, so I can do my outro. Those were all of the books I read this month. I was in a little bit of a reading slump at the beginning. Finally turned things around and read books that I love with all my heart. Yeah, go read a book. Bye!